The use of nuclear energy is at the center of many debates. There are a lot of misconceptions regarding it, yet some fears are justified. Which ones are? That is what we are about to explain. Let's start by speaking about what makes nuclear energy a key to humanity's continued prosperity. First and foremost, nuclear energy is, as of yet, the most effective source of electricity. It produces a massive amount of it in a short time. Besides, nuclear power plants work regardless of external factors such as the weather. Therefore, it guarantees a reliable and strong source for humanity's need for electricity. Also, it creates employment. In France, more than 220,000 people work in the nuclear field. Secondly, nuclear energy is an excellent tool in the field of medicine and healthcare. It can be used to save lives since it enables more accurate diagnoses through various means such as X-rays or positron emission tomographies. It helps cure cancer through chemotherapy, which is up to now the only known way to slow down or even stop the growth of tumors. Adding to all of this, most uses of nuclear energy in the field of healthcare are completely painless. Another lesser-known positive aspect to nuclear energy is its usefulness in the preservation of cultural heritage. Scientists use the radiation emitted by irradiators to save certain elements of humanity's history. For example, they irradiated the mummy of Ramses II. It was 3,200 years old and was being threatened by larvae and fungi until its irradiation. They also irradiated a baby mammoth named Chroma, frozen about 50,000 years ago, to ensure it wouldn't contaminate the public with anthrax. Nevertheless, nuclear energy does have some downsides. The use of nuclear weapons is perhaps the biggest fear it induces, and rightly so, since we have had many proofs of the havoc it can wreak when used. Nagasaki and Hiroshima are examples of this carnage. The combined number of deaths caused by these two bombings is at around 200,000 people, which is absolutely astronomical. This shows that fearing nuclear weapons is perfectly rational. Furthermore, the radioactive waste created by nuclear power plants is hardly positive for the environment. Also, it is a common belief that those power plants emit a massive amount of carbon dioxide. This would be a downside to nuclear energy were it not completely false. In addition to this, people are also worried about potential nuclear accidents, like the one at Chernobyl. While unintentional, it was still responsible for many deaths and the absolute destruction of all the environment surrounding the explosion. Despite all of this, these disadvantages can be avoided. First of all, radioactive waste isn't stored indefinitely. Their danger decreases over time. There are facilities that are made to stock these fission products, which renders them harmless to nature since they are appropriately contained. Also, 96% of nuclear fuel is made back into uranium-based fuels, so the waste is far lesser than one may imagine. Next, it is important to note that the gas coming out of nuclear power plants is water vapor and has nothing to do with CO2 emissions. Also, humans learn from their technical mistakes, and accidents in nuclear power plants have become almost impossible, given the attention brought to security within these facilities. Since the Chernobyl incident, it has become impossible in all nuclear power plants to overdrive basic security measures. Finally, it is an irrevocable truth that nuclear weapons are a grave danger to humanity. It is normal to be afraid of them. The only way to guarantee they will never be used in an international conflict would be to acquire a mutual understanding of its danger. Furthermore, since using these weapons of mass destruction would condemn us all to a relatively certain death, no country should be as reckless as to use them, but then again, we never know. In conclusion, contrarily to popular belief, nuclear energy shouldn't be feared, and should actually be regarded in a positive light. The only fear that is justified is that of nuclear weapons, and the only solution to that is to have faith in humanity.